like Westerns because the good ones are real. You feel real when you're making them, and, well, you don't feel actorish.
The kind of man I admire is Gary Cooper, the strong, silent type.
Before his death, Gary Cooper finally admitted something that had been on everyone's mind for years. The famous actor, known for his tough and calm image, revealed a side of himself that many didn't know about. As rumors about his personal life grew, Cooper's surprising confession stunned the world. Was it a final attempt to make peace? Or had he been keeping this secret for a long time? What exactly is this truth he had been hiding? Let's explore the shocking reveal that changed how we saw this Hollywood legend. Gary Cooper confirmed what we suspected. It is a strange thing when a famous Hollywood star is known just as much for his quiet sense of style as he is for his acting. This is exactly the case with Gary Cooper, who was raised in Montana, a place many men dream of living, waking up every morning on his family's huge 600-acre ranch, looking out over the land like a real cowboy. People often say that life can change in an instant. Gary Cooper had no idea that a car crash when he was between 13 to 15 would be one of the biggest moments of his life, opening the door for him to become a Hollywood star. In 1914, while studying at a private school in England, Cooper got into a car accident. His doctor told him he needed to ride horses a few times a week as part of his recovery. This skill would later become very useful. 11 years after the accident, he moved to Los Angeles. After failing in sales, where he tried to sell electric signs and theater curtains, he used his horseback riding ability to get work as a movie extra, earning $10 a day riding horses in cowboy films. Years later, he was not only a well-known actor, but also a man whose natural charm and style made him stand out. He was the leading man who always won over the beautiful woman and the hero who walked away victorious. While other Hollywood stars worked hard to appear glamorous, Cooper won people over by moving through the spotlight as if he hardly noticed it, like a swan unaware of its own beauty. At 6 feet 3 inches and walking with a slight limp, he could have faced difficulties, but he turned those small flaws into strengths, creating an effortless image that still fascinates people today. As his career grew, Cooper played around with bold style choices, mixing patterns in ways that even modern designers would admire. But what is truly inspiring is that, even when he made some mistakes with fashion, he kept working to improve, learning more over time and shaping his own unique look. After all, personal style isn't something that happens overnight. It takes time to develop. Cooper was never afraid to take that journey and let his clothes make a statement. At one point, Cooper was rejected by his college drama club in Iowa. Yet he went from selling theater curtains to becoming one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. However, as his success grew, his personal life suffered, affecting both his mind and body. In 1930 and 1931, he faced extreme exhaustion, poor health, and tension between his protective mother and a jealous lover, which led him to have a nervous breakdown. A deeply emotional man, Cooper, nicknamed Coop by his close friends, wrote to his nephew saying, "I lost my way, listened to too much advice, and let people control me through my feelings, my kindness, and my emotions." Despite all of his struggles, Cooper's simple yet timeless style and his role as the classic Hollywood hero have made sure that his name will never be forgotten. There is no doubt that Gary Cooper was a great actor. He became famous for his amazing performances in many Hollywood films. But there was also one big weakness he was known for. What was it? Let's find out. The womanizing lifestyle of Gary Cooper. Gary's journey in acting started off slow, which wasn't surprising since he began during the silent film days. But in 1926, he got his first big break when he was suddenly chosen for a lead role in The Winning of Barbara Worth. The actor originally picked for the part didn't show up, so the studio had to find someone else quickly, and Gary got lucky. After that, he kept getting roles, often playing charming heroes in movies like Wings and The Wolf Song. Clara Bow, who was the biggest Hollywood it girl of the time, was so drawn to Gary that she demanded he be in one of her films. But after growing close to Bow, both on and off the set, Gary's habit of chasing women really took off. Since he was already known as someone who could charm any woman, it made sense that he was so successful as a romantic lead. He couldn't seem to stay away from beautiful actresses and always knew just the right words to win them over. It helped that he was often cast as the main male star alongside some of the most famous women in Hollywood. Nearly every woman he showed interest in would say yes, but even though he could be with almost anyone he wanted, this sometimes got him into messy situations. Gary often dated more than one woman at a time. Almost every time he had a new female co-star, they would end up together. But that didn't mean he stopped seeing the others he was involved with. Of course, this kind of behavior eventually got him into trouble, especially when he met actress Lupe Velez. The two first connected while filming The Wolf Song, and their on-screen romance quickly became real. As their relationship grew, Gary's career also took off. He started acting in talking movies, which made him even more famous. One of those films, The Virginian, was a huge hit and made him known as a passionate but noble hero. From there, his success only grew, and he continued landing major roles. While dating Lupe Velez, who was known for having a bad temper, Gary had short affairs with Morocco co-star Marlene Dietrich and Carole Lombard, his leading lady in I Take This Woman, 1931. There were also rumors that he was romantically involved with actor Anderson Lawler. Velez once told a writer that when Cooper came home after meeting Lawler, she would check if he smelled like Lawler's cologne. Not only was Gary unable to stay faithful to Velez, but his mother also disliked her. She thought Velez was rude and not good enough for him. Their relationship was full of fights, mostly because of Gary's wandering eye. One time, Velez stabbed him with a kitchen knife after an argument. Another time, she tried to shoot him while he was about to get on a train. It's surprising they stayed together for 3 years. After finally breaking up with Velez, Gary met his perfect match. Even though he met his stunning wife, tying the knot didn't put an end to his habit of chasing women. What else is there to uncover? Stay tuned to find out the extramarital affairs of Gary Cooper and its results. In 1933, Gary Cooper's life took a major turn. At a party, he met a young woman named Veronica Balfe, who was 20 years old. Unlike the many women he had been with before, she was different. She wasn't from Hollywood, and she wasn't married. To Cooper, she seemed like the right person for a serious relationship. After spending time with so many actresses, he finally found someone he wanted to settle down with. More than that, Balfe seemed like a perfect fit for him. They liked the same things, especially outdoor activities like skiing and horseback riding. She also introduced him to the wealthy social circles of New York. Being with her opened new doors for the rising star, and that was just the beginning. Cooper and Balfe were married in a tiny private ceremony in December 1933, hidden from the spotlight. He had a reputation for being careless when in love, but now he appeared to have changed. He took charge of his life and put his past behind him, at least temporarily, and even his friends could see how different he was. He and Balfe had a daughter, Maria Veronica Cooper, in 1937. Cooper was a loving and active parent who loved being a father. Before long, the entire family was having fun going on outdoor adventures together after he taught his little daughter how to ride a bike and ski. Everything seemed perfect for Cooper and Balfe until a famous actress came between them. In 1942, Ingrid Bergman was chosen as the leading lady in For Whom the Bell Tolls, a decision Cooper fully supported. Their connection on set was obvious, and their romantic scenes were described as full of passion. But their attraction wasn't just for the cameras. After the film became a huge success, they worked together again. While filming, Cooper returned to his old ways and started seeing Bergman off-screen too. However, this time he wasn't chasing after someone weak or dependent. Bergman was strong and independent, not the type to get hurt easily. In the end, it was Cooper who suffered the most. Looking back, he once said, "No one loved me more than Ingrid Bergman, but the day after we finished filming, she wouldn't even take my calls." The man who was used to being in control had been outplayed, but that didn't stop him from going further down the wrong path. His brief attempt at being faithful was completely over. By 1948, he betrayed his wife again, this time with actress Patricia Neil while working on The Fountainhead. He tried to keep the affair a secret, but in Hollywood, nothing stayed hidden for long. When the truth came out, it nearly destroyed his family. Once rumors of the affair spread, Balfe confronted him, hoping for an explanation. The gossip was painful, but when she asked Cooper directly, his answer wasn't what she wanted to hear. He admitted he had been unfaithful, but had no intention of ending the relationship. Instead of breaking it off, he kept seeing Neil, making it clear where his true loyalty lay. Even though Gary Cooper openly admitted his feelings for Patricia Neil, their romance was far from perfect. What obstacles did they face? Keep watching to find out more. Patricia Neil's regret. In her relationship with Gary Cooper, their love was strong, but Gary was often very jealous. Once, he slapped Patricia when he saw Kirk Douglas trying to flirt with her. When Patricia told Gary she was pregnant, they were both excited at first. They thought having a baby could be the reason for Gary to leave his wife, Rocky, and finally be with Patricia. But after thinking it through, they realized that having a baby outside of marriage wasn't something society would approve of back then. They knew there was only one choice left. Gary called a doctor in Los Angeles, gave her money, and Patricia secretly had an abortion. This was something Patricia always regretted. She later said, "For over 30 years, I cried alone at night. I cried for that baby. Every time I had too much to drink, I would remember that I didn't let him live. I admired Ingrid Bergman for having her son. She had the courage I didn't have. I regret it with all my heart. If I could change one thing in my life, it would be having that baby." Gary and his wife eventually separated on May 16, 1951, which confirmed the rumors about why they split. Gary and Patricia were seen together, and he tried to keep their relationship secret. He warned people not to take pictures of them or he would sue. They tried to hide their affair in interviews, but it was obvious to everyone. The affair began to weigh on Gary's soul. He knew that marrying Patricia would end his relationship with his daughter, and his health was getting worse from surgeries for ulcers and hernias. Patricia grew worried, so she invited Gary's mother for tea. Gary's mother wasn't kind, saying, "Why should I see you after what you've done to my son? He is sick because of you. Do you know what you've done?" Patricia was shocked, but knew what had to happen. She realized Gary couldn't commit fully to her, and their affair had to end. She called him and told him about the conversation with his mother. She also told him that they could never see each other again. Gary confirmed that this was what she really wanted. At first, it didn't seem like it was really over. Patricia sent him a mink jacket for Christmas with a note that said, "I love you, baby Gary." She tried calling him to fix things, but it didn't work. They spoke for the last time in October 1955. She told him he had broken her heart. But he said he did it all for his daughter, Maria. In a 2008 interview, Patricia admitted she never stopped loving him, saying, "I loved Gary Cooper for years and years." Setting aside the scandals and personal issues, it's clear he made a big impact in Hollywood. What kind of legacy did Gary Cooper leave? Let's take a look. The ever-standing legacy of Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper has had a big impact on the movie business outside of his career. His timeless appeal is proof of his dedication to sincerity, hard work, and a strong sense of reality. He had a significant influence on Hollywood and popular culture, as evidenced by the fact that his films still inspire people today. Cooper's ability to give his roles depth and complexity, often depicting morally pure, brave, and resilient individuals, earned him praise throughout his career. His performances resonated with audiences and had a lasting impact on the motion picture industry. Cooper's effect can be seen in the work of many actors and filmmakers who came after him. His focus on being genuine and his ability to show deep emotions set a high standard for acting that still motivates performers today. Besides his influence on movies, Cooper's legacy is clear in the respect and admiration he earned from his colleagues, critics, and fans. His polite and strong character won the hearts of many, and his films are still loved by viewers around the world. Gary Cooper's lasting legacy shows his talent, values, and his contributions to film. His work continues to inspire and touch audiences, ensuring his impact will be felt for years to come. Gary Cooper's impact on popular culture is both deep and lasting. As one of Hollywood's most famous actors, his work in movies and influence on culture has left a strong mark, changing how stories are told and characters are shown in the media. Cooper's role as the ideal American hero has become a key example in film and TV. His performances in movies like Sergeant York and High Noon set a high bar for showing bravery, influencing how heroes are created and how stories are told in the years that followed. His ability to show true emotion and honesty through small movements and expressions has inspired many actors and filmmakers, setting a high standard for acting. Cooper's influence is also seen in fashion and style. His rugged looks and classic sense of style have started fashion trends that still appeal to audiences around the world. His lasting appeal as a style icon is clear in the respect he still gets from fans and fashion lovers. His work is still loved and appreciated, showing the lasting nature of his appeal and the timeless quality of his acting. His legacy as a leader in film is clear in the continued admiration he receives from both fans and filmmakers. Gary Cooper's influence on popular culture shows his talent, hard work, and his impact on storytelling. His work still inspires and engages audiences, making sure his legacy will last for many years. It is widely known that the legendary icon passed away over 6 decades ago, yet his legacy remains eternal. But what were his last moments like? Keep watching for further details. The big change and final moments of Gary Cooper. After facing years of personal struggles, Gary Cooper eventually turned to spirituality. While some people might think he found faith only because of his illness, his daughter Maria Cooper, who he had with his wife Veronica Balfe, denied these rumors. She said that Gary's spiritual change came more naturally, as he thought about the meaning of life and death. Gary eventually reunited with his wife Veronica after a 3-year break. This began after he joined her and their daughter, both strong Catholics, on a trip to the Vatican to meet Pope Pius XII. After this visit, Gary and Veronica started working on fixing their relationship. Once they got back together, Gary began going to church with her and Maria. At this point, he was likely looking for more stability in his life after so many years of chaos. Over time, Father Harold Ford, the priest at their church, made a big impact on Gary, who grew interested in the messages Ford shared in his sermons. One day, Gary invited Father Ford over for dinner and found they had a lot in common. They both liked firearms and enjoyed scuba diving. Soon, they started diving together, and their talk slowly began to focus on religion. Eventually, Gary felt that, as he said, a little religion might help him. After months of studying religion, Gary Cooper officially became a member of the Catholic Church on April 9, 1959. A year later, on April 14, 1960, he had surgery for a serious form of prostate cancer that had spread to his colon. He fought cancer for the next year, but it soon became clear he wouldn't survive. Despite this, Gary accepted it as God's will. In his final public statement on May 4, 1961, he said he wasn't afraid of what was to come. Just 8 days later, on May 12th, he received his last rites and passed away the next day. What do you think about the lifestyle of Gary Cooper? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.